Hello beautiful people out there, Chrissy here again. So it's Tuesday, so what? Let's Talk Tuesday. I know I haven't done a Let's Talk Tuesday in forever in a day. So I'm going to start bringing those back because I know there's a lot of things going on, a lot of topics to talk about and everything else. So I'll start to bring Let's Talk Tuesdays back. So today I want to talk about battling depression and postpartum depression. Now I was debating about talking about this because I really don't like talking about my problems. I'd rather pray about it and talk about it. But I feel like I'm not alone. I've seen a lot of people talking about it and discussing it. It makes you feel better because you're not alone. We don't like to talk about things because we feel like we're the only one that's going through it. But when you see a lot of people are enduring it or have went through it, it makes you kind of feel better to know that you're not alone in this situation. I mentioned it a little bit before my vlogger channel. I think I was talking about it in one of my hangouts, that I've suffered depression, and it's been a journey because it's like I don't look like I'm depressed or that I am ever depressed because I am always bubbly and happy, and my outer appearance is one way and my inner is totally different. And the only reason why I am always happy, I'm always bubbly. That's just who I am. That's how I was born. I came out the womb probably bubbly. That's just who I am. But I have my days where I can be a little down in the dumps and, a little worried, fearing, and just sad about whatever. And it's been going on for a while. Right now, I'm I'll say about 75%, as far as not depressed, but I still have that 25%. I have that 25% moment sometimes. I'm just going through a lot of changes, and I'm uncomfortable, and it's a good uncomfortable because I've prayed for better, and I guess because I was so comfortable with what I was used to, that seeing new things happen in my life for the better, it's kind of confusing me because it's like, okay, what am I doing right to deserve this? And it's it's uncomfortable, but yet when you step out of your comfort zone, that's what you have to expect. You can't expect to be comfortable when you're doing new things that you've never tried before, like this whole YouTube thing, this blogging thing, being married, having a baby. It's a new life, and you just don't know how to handle new things when you're comfortable with what you're used to. So I guess that's kind of where it I don't know, it's just weird. Depression just comes from just going through a lot of losses and failing, not knowing what to do with life, or not knowing what to do, just dealing with certain people, and being nice to people and not getting the reciprocal, treated badly, it's a lot of factors in why people are depressed. And I think those are pretty much mine, because it's I'll do things and I'll be like, oh God, this is for me, and everything else, and then you step into it and then you find out it's not yours, or wasn't meant for you, or you get to you meet somebody and you think they are for you, and then eventually they show their true colors, but yet you still stay around because you're comfortable, and then you move on, and it's like you get treated with respect and the things that you want out of a person, and it's like, wow, I'm getting all of this now with a whole different person. I don't know. One thing about this spiritual journey that I'm on, it's okay, that God has a future for you. He has a better plan for you in your future. And the devil knows that as well. So he'll throw these things at you, like these thoughts and, these past thoughts, or, these attacks at you. And it's like you kind of allow that to get to you because you're afraid of what lies ahead. And that's enough evidence to get you depressed, because you don't know what to do. You don't know what voice to listen to. You have the good angel in your head telling you, God has a plan. God has has a plan. Just stay focused, stay prayed up, stay this. And then you got the devil over here like, you don't amount to anything. You remember what you used to do. You're ugly, you know, you're not successful. You see all these people out here that are doing good things, and yet you're watching everybody live there. I mean, you just have all, you know, you have that battlefield in your mind, and it's like you just don't know what to listen to, it's just one of those it's that battlefield in the mind, and that plays a part in being depressed as well. You know, with the postpartum depression, like, I mean, I've read about it, you know, when I was pregnant and stuff like that, and I was like, whoa, why would somebody be depressed after having a baby? That's supposed to be a new life, a new change, and a new blessing to your life. So how could you be depressed about that? But I didn't realize that until it actually happened. And I don't know what it is. I mean, what it was. I mean, I wasn't sad about me having a baby, because I mean, I'm blessed to have my baby, and she's a true blessing. I mean, she's the reason why I go hard for everything that I do now. But it's like, why am I depressed that I have a child? I'll just tell you a little story. But when Maddie and I met or whatever, you know, a few months later and stuff like that, I was like, okay, eventually, you know, like, maybe, you know, we'll probably, you know, do whatever. So I was like, well, let me be smart and, you know, go get on birth control. But my doctor I was subscribed to, or I was supposed to go to, he was unable to give it to me. And I was like, okay, well, you're my doctor, you're supposed to be able to provide it for me. It's, you know, covered in my insurance or whatever. So I went to his office like twice, and he was still unable to give it to me. I found out in February that I was pregnant or whatever, and it was like, whoa. But then I ended up, you know, being pregnant and stuff like that. And, you know, I know it was God, because, you know, God knows that I'm a selfish person, and I like to do things my way. But I remember praying hard that I'm going to let go of my life and let you have your way. So once I let him have his way, it's like everything for the good happened. You know, I had a baby, I got married, we moved into our house, you know, we have our ups and downs, but we are very, very happy. And it's like, this is new to me. Like, I wasn't I'm thinking like 35, 36, once I get myself established. But he had a whole new plan for me. And I guess I'm still kind of uncomfortable knowing that, because it's like I've let go of everything that I used to do on my own and letting him have my way. So everything that's going on in my life, it's beyond me. It's his control. And you know, people don't believe you when you say that, because they're like, well, you're in control of your own actions. And I'm like, yeah, but if God is leading your life, you have no control over what goodness he brings into your life. And I guess those hormones, you know, your hormones are in, you know, all over the place. Then after I had a baby, I didn't want my babies back to back, but I wanted them to be 2 years apart. I was like, okay, well, let me, you know, just get on birth control and stuff like that. And that double shot really played a horrible part in my emotions and my physical being, my mental being, my emotional being. It was to the point where it was like I was emotional all the time. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to talk to anybody, except I just want to take care of my baby. And you know, it took a toll on my joy. It really did. And then my hair started falling out. I mean, I was washing my hair, and like chunks of hair would just fall down in the shower, and I was like, I got to get off of this stuff. So, and you know, it takes a year for it to get out of your system completely. I could tell it's still in me, but one thing I'm learning to do is tell my feelings to just hush. Like Heather Lindsay says, tell your feelings to shut up. So I may feel one type of way one day, and I'm just like, I'm going to ignore it. I'm just going to ignore my feelings. I'm just going to ignore my feelings or whatever, and just continue to be happy, because happiness is a choice. You can either let your feelings get the best of you, or you can, you know, continue to be down in the dumps and waste your life. Life is too short to be wasted. And I keep telling myself that over and over. The 1 minute of sadness is 1 minute of happiness I will never get back. So if I'm sad and depressed for a whole day, that's a whole day of happiness I will never get back. And the last thing I want to do is leave this earth before I'm supposed to and meet with the maker, and he tell me, why were you depressed? Didn't I tell you to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding? Didn't I tell you to have a plan for you, a plan to prosper you and not to harm you, a plan to give you hope and to give you a future? Didn't I tell you to fear not, for I am with you? Didn't I tell you to seek you first in all things, and I will give you those things according to my riches? Like, and it's just like, okay, I know these Bible verses, so let me just dwell on them so I can feel better. And when I did that, I felt a lot better. And it's like, you know, I can see why he prevented me from getting on the BC before, because he knew what it was going to do to my body. But doing things on my own, I've suffered the consequences, and that's what I'm learning to do. Like, I'm not perfect. I don't try to be perfect, but one thing I have to stop doing is doing things on my own. And that's why I see why he says to seek ye first in all things, so you can know if this is what you're supposed to do or not. That's what's been helping me with this depression. Life hasn't always been perfect. It probably will never be perfect, but I've always prayed for better. And I can see it one step at a time, that it is getting better, one day at a time. And I'm not as sad as I used to be. I don't fear as much as I used to, because if I keep fearing, I won't know what beauty lies ahead for me. And you know, I just wish that a lot of people that are going through depression would know that it gets better. It's been times where I just come home, I get in bed, I don't talk to nobody, I don't get on my phone, and it's like, why am I doing this? Or it used to be times where I would sit on my phone and be like, oh, I wish I was doing what they're doing. I wish I, you know, had that marriage, or I wish I, you know, had their friendship. And it's like, you don't know what happens behind closed doors. People only post the good stuff online. You don't know what happens off camera or behind closed doors to want that, because you don't know, they can be posting the happiest picture, and then behind closed doors they can be arguing, fighting, abused, or whatever. And would you want that? No, not me. The happiest people are some of the people that suffered the most. Other thing that kind of played a part in my depression was that I kept everything in. I kept everything bottled in. I had nobody to talk to, like even like my best friend. I mean, I love her to death or whatever, but I just felt like sometimes I just didn't feel like talking about my problems, because you just don't want to be that negative Nancy that always has something going on. The people that you think you can trust or talk to, those are the ones that either are happy that you have problems, or they're going to go tell your problems. And it's like, you know, one thing I've learned about that is that if somebody trusts you out of all people to tell a secret to, or to tell their problems to, why tell their problems to other people? Could have told anybody else in this world, but they chose you out of all people. And that's a trust thing. That's a loyalty thing. And that's why, like, when people tell me stuff, I don't go running my mouth about it. I mean, they have a mouth on their face. They can tell whoever they want to. But if they trusted me out of all people to tell, I'm not going to go run and tell them. I don't trust anybody. Like I said, people have motives. I mean, I trust people. I don't want to say that, but it's just certain, you just don't know. You just don't know. And like with my husband, like, I mean, I could tell that, you know, our souls are connected, because like if I'm washing the dishes and he's behind me and, you know, he's like, hey sweetie, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? It's like he knows something's wrong, and he doesn't like pressure me like, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong? But he knows when something's wrong. I cannot be sad and him not know, because it's like he knows. Like, it's like he just knows. And that's why I know he was sent from God, because for one, God would not bless anything that he's not a part of, and he would not send you your soulmate if y'all were not intertwined within the soul. Because for him to be able to feel my sadness and know that something's wrong, that's kind of scary. And from that, it's like I've been able to open up to him, tell him what's wrong, tell him what's happened, and it's like, wow, I can really talk to somebody. And it makes me feel good, because it's like, you know, I felt like I've never had that before. And it's like the person that I live with and I'm married to, it's like I can trust him. It's kind of scary, but it's like one of those things that you can't explain, but you just know it's God. Chrissy, get it together. Get it together. If you are on camera, get yourself together. Just being able to be open and honest with somebody has really helped me to get past this depression, because I feel like when I talk about it, I feel like I'm not holding it in anymore, and that really helps. So that's why I tell people, go get help. Go get help. My mascara about gone. Okay, but that's why I tell people, you know, go get help. Go talk to somebody. And like I said, you know, the business that my sister and I are doing, you know, it's counseling and personal life coaching. And you know, that's one of the things that, you know, we want people to come to us to talk about, because I feel like that plays a part in why there's a lot of craziness in the world, because people are fighting those battles within. They're fighting those voices within. And it's like when you hold all that in, that's why people are walking around mad. They're walking around going crazy. And then before you know it, they're killing innocent people. They're you know, trying to fight people. They're abusing people because of what they're going through inside. But I promise you, if you just talk about it, let it all out, find closure to those issues, you will feel so much better. Okay? So just take, if you're going through it or you have been through it and it's like coming up periodically, seek somebody. Seek somebody that you trust. And if you don't trust people like your family or your friends, go to professional help. It's real. Depression is real out here, y'all. It's too real for you not to want to seek help. I can't believe I cried on camera. I mean, it's a touchy subject because, you know, it's like I've dealt with it for so long. I don't put up a front, but it's like I like to just, it's like I like to present myself happy and outgoing, because I don't, one of my pet peeves is that I don't like people to ask me what's wrong, because when they ask me what's wrong, that means I have to explain what's wrong, and then I have to tell my issues. I just don't trust everybody with what I'm going through, and so that's why I try to act like nothing's wrong, so I won't ask what's wrong. But it's to the point where you could only fake that for so long before you start to hurt some more. So I mean, like I said, I'm a lot better. I'm not depressed like I used to. I mean, I have my days where it's like, okay, I don't want to do anything, I don't feel like talking to anybody. That's normal, we're all human. But depression it's not defeating me anymore like it was. And that's why, like I said, I'd rather pray about my issues than talk about my issues. But sometimes you have to be honest with yourself and just speak to somebody about what you got going on. If you are going through that or you have been through it, let me know down below. How'd you overcome it, and you know, what are you doing to cope with it and everything else. So like I said, I'm so much better. I'm so much better. So don't think like when I'm on my videos that I'm depressed or anything. Please don't think that. But it's something that I've dealt with for a long time, but I'm better. A lot better. And I thank my husband for just being not only my husband, but my best friend, my supporter, and just my counselor in the home or whatever. And I thank my friends, you know, my best friend, my friends, just for being that open ear, and you guys just for letting me be transparent on camera and cry on camera to tell y'all something that I have dealt with for a long time, because I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. So like I said, let me know down below, and I'll talk to you guys in another video. Bye.